Welcome to Recap Harbor, your home for movie and series story breakdowns. Here we walk through film scene by scene so you never miss the details. For our very first journey, we're exploring We Bury the Dead, a haunting story about loss, survival, and the weight of memory. Let's dive into the full recap. We Bury the Dead can now be viewed at home in digital format. The new zombie horror film, which starred Daisy Ridley, widely known for her role as Rey in the Star Wars sequel trilogy 2015 to 2019, debuted at South by Southwest in March 2025 and debuted in select North American theaters on January 2nd, earning a modest $3.7 million at the box office. We Bury the Dead is now available for digital viewing at home, including on Prime Video, where it can be purchased in UHD for $19.99 or rented for $9.99, 1 month after its theatrical debut. Additionally, it may be bought for $14.99 on other platforms like Google Play and Fandango at home. We Bury the Dead, written and directed by Zach Hilditch, These Final Hours, 1922, follows Daisy Ridley as she battles grief in an undead-infested world while desperately looking for her missing husband following a devastating military disaster. She discovers a horror far worse than she could have ever imagined. Mark Cole-Smith, Brenton Thwaites, Kim Jackson, Matt Whelan, Deanna Cooney, Sam Jaransar, Holly Hargreaves, Megan Hollier, Matthew Parkin, Amanda Faye Chandler, Charles Walmsley, Deborah Curdorn, Jimmy Duncan, and John Monk are other cast members in addition to Daisy Ridley, who plays the lead. Thanks to Daisy Ridley's captivating performance and its darkly original concept, We Bury the Dead garnered positive reviews and a solid 87% Rotten Tomatoes score. Critics said the film skillfully used classic zombie conventions to craft a visually stunning and emotionally powerful exploration of loss and grief. However, We Bury the Dead received mixed reviews from critics and viewers, as evidenced by the latter group's 46% Rotten Tomatoes score, which panned the film for being uninteresting and boring, and for lacking the tension and fright that one would anticipate from zombie horror. Some argue that it doesn't quite meet the criteria for becoming a zombie film. We Bury the Dead generated $3 million on its first weekend alone across just 1,117 screens, which was the highest opening weekend ever for its indie distributor, Vertical Entertainment, while only earning $3.7 million at the box office. We Bury the Dead should keep up its impressive performance now that it can be viewed digitally at home. At the theater, January has usually served as a symbolic plate of leftovers, particularly in the context of horror. The notorious dump month of January usually consists of films that studios have little to no faith in or award season holdovers that receive a broader distribution. That's particularly true for horror, as January is frequently packed with poorly marketed subgenre content and low-budget thrillers that have almost little chance of becoming popular. However, following the genre's record-breaking year in 2025 and the exciting year ahead in 2026, there might be a change in the amount of time that horror has to make an impression during the dull winter months. Horror filmgoers have started to flock to theaters, particularly when the reviews are favorable. Even though Januaries have been particularly cruel lately, 28 years later, The Bone Temple led the way in breaking the pattern for 2026, which may portend more bad things to come. Every January in recent years has effectively had a primary horror film, which receives a respectable amount of promotion in comparison to the majority of the other films released that month, even though it is still not anticipated to be a box office success. That film was Wolfman, a 2025 modern remake that was partially inspired on Lee Wannell's famous Universal monster, The Invisible Man. Despite having a $20 million budget, Wolfman only made $32.5 million at the box office, disappointing both reviewers and viewers. The major attraction in 2024 was Night Swim, a film about a truly haunted pool that only received a 19% Rotten Tomatoes score while having a respectable return for its small $15 million, $52.5 million, budget. If you go all the way back to 2023, you'll find almost nothing but the unexpected hit M3 Gan. By contrast, January 2026 is a thundering victory. The month began with a highly regarded but mostly overlooked zombie horror film, We Bury the Dead, starring Daisy Ridley. Despite its poor box office performance, the film has an 85% rating on Rotten Tomatoes and is certified fresh. The chimpanzee slasher primate, which is likewise certified fresh at 79% a week after its debut, came next. The eagerly awaited sequel, 28 years later, arrives this week. Given it positive reviews and significant buzz, The Bone Temple, which is presently 93% certified fresh, should do well at the box office. Alongside The Bone Temple, Justin Long's independent horror film Night Patrol will also slip into theaters. Although there is very little possibility that it will have a significant impact at the box office, early reviews suggest that it might be another hit for Shudder and ILJE Films. Send Help, a survival horror movie starring Rachel McAdams and Dylan O'Brien, will wrap out the month. It's the first time the renowned Sam Raimi has directed a picture since he worked on Marvel's Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Insanity. Expectations for Send Help are understandably high, as it will be the first horror movie he has directed since the critically praised supernatural horror Drag Me to Hell in 2009. And that was our full story breakdown of We Bury the Dead. If you enjoyed this recap, subscribe to Recap Harbor. Many more stories are arriving soon. Drop a comment telling me what movie or series you want next. Until the next story docks, welcome to the Harbor.